Welcome to the July edition of Games I Want to Play, a monthly series where I review the releases for the coming month and tell you which ones I think are good or interesting to pick up. Last month, we had a battle of blades and discipline laid down to us with Samurai Showdown, a test of speed and patience against the rubber-banding AI of Crash Team Racing, and the welcome arrival of the long-awaited Igavania title, Bloodstained. July is actually no slouch for the releases, and there's quite a lot to go through, so let's cut to the chase and get to it. So about 2 months ago, I decided to try out Final Fantasy XIV, and it's just about the best MMORPG I've ever played. The fact that this game has been running for a very long time hasn't really affected my newbie experience in any major way, except maybe for the waiting queues on dungeons. Given that, I'm pretty excited for what I can find in Shadowbringers, but that means I have to get through the vanilla quests, which appears to be the longest in the game. Then I get through Heaven's Ward, then Stormblood, then I can finally access Shadowbringers. Actually, for those who aren't as patient, it's possible to buy a fast forward to get to the newest material the game has to offer, though I'm more than okay than just taking the scenic route and let myself soak in what the game has to show. Anyway, Shadowbringers is really exciting, and the fact of how much was changed with the incoming patch just tells me how much there is new to try out in the game, so very excited about that. This game combines two genres I pretty much play all the time, a tower defense and a 2D platformer. You appear to be given the role of exploring vast lands, invading dungeons and conquering them, and then defending the civilizations you build up with them with a tower defense. It's an interesting synergy of the two genres. It reminds me of Ni no Kuni 2. That game I seriously enjoyed, but it really lacked challenge. Now, if Soul Seraph can put that challenge that I've been looking for in an RPG, I think we'll be in for a very nice ride. The last time I tried playing this kind of action game was back in Fat Princess. I wasn't too impressed, really. But the whole presentation of this year's E3 made me think a bit more about Team Ninja's take on the game. It honestly looks like the X-Men arcade game back in the 90s, but upgraded and updated. So very hot to me. Call me old school, but I really prefer the designs back before Fox and Marvel started cooking up the MCU. The developers' love for the Golden Age comics really shows in how these scenes are designed and how they play out in the demo. Aside from the fact that it makes me remember how old I am, I really like it. I can really see myself partying up with friends and playing heroes up against those forces of Thanos, old school bad guys like the Sentinels, and occasionally blaming my own teammates for a bad game. Also, hey, if you like that kind of style with your Marvel superheroes, why don't you give me a high five, or maybe a like, or maybe a share. Getting the content out is a lot easier that way, and we do appreciate it. If you like the video, please do that. Anyway, on to the next game. ArcSys just seems to keep going after its big Dragon Ball FighterZ game, and I'm not complaining. Nobody makes ridiculous and exciting anime-esque looking fighters like they do, so a new game out from them, definitely excited for it. Kill la Kill is also one of the biggest productions that Studio Trigger made, and they haven't shortchanged us with how extreme and how over the top everything goes with all the demos and the playthroughs that they've shown us so far. This is an entirely new format they've created as well, making it look more like a brawler rather than your traditional 2D fighter. And I'm really interested in how ArcSys will fare on that field. That and watching Satsuki take things up to 11 is something I definitely do over and over again. Fire Emblem is pretty much a staple for the JRPG players on the Nintendo consoles, and now that I'm one of them, I'm genuinely interested in seeing what this series has to offer me. I was actually introduced to the series thanks to the mobile game, and looks like I finally have my next turn-based game after finishing Valkyria Chronicles 4. It's actually nothing that new if you consider the past games. There's a semi-medieval setting, you choose your faction, then proceed with the campaign. While it does sound like kinda random-of-the-mill stuff, I don't think it's such a bad thing. What really matters here is how they execute both the gameplay and the story. Hopefully not too heavy on the cutscenes, but if I like them enough, I'd probably watch them all day. So that's what's coming up for July, at least for the ones I'm interested in. There's more coming out there, though honestly a lot of them seem to be expansions and ports, and We tend to try to stick to new games and major releases, but since I've been enjoying FF14 so much, I kinda wanted to make an exception there. Anyway, more new games are abound, and here's a list to at least give them a bit of a mention. If you'd like to check out our other stuff, you can see more videos off our YouTube channel and all of our articles on our site, raymarufiles.com. You can also catch us on the usual social media as shown here, where we post some light event coverage and tend to joke around. You can also contact us if you'd like. We do love hearing your feedback. Anyway, that's all for now. See you next time.